Good,
Hi.
good morning. Who's there?
Hiya.
Hi, Gary. Hi, Meryl.
Goddamn, Meryl.
Oh,
Well, that was unfortunate.
yes, it was, but we are being
Yeah.
recorded, so I just want to
Yeah.
remind you of that.
Yeah.
And, we haven't written the RFP yet, so we'll just see how that goes. I think today will be important.
Yeah.
Let's see, I want to disable the waiting room. Let me just.
Well, I tried to get into the 15th first. For some reason, I couldn't get in.
For some reason. Yeah.
Hey, Meryl, how's your dad?
He's in the hospital.
Yeah.
We almost lost him this week. It was so scary, and I was there, my sister. Anyway, but he's doing better. He had a UTI, so at that age, he's going to be 98 Sunday. It's devastating. So
Yeah.
it was just really scary to see, and he's got the antibiotics in him really quickly, and they are a wonder drug. And he's stable now. He's extremely weak. We can't really talk to him. He's not really talking yet. But he's getting strong and he's eating, so we're hopeful.
That's good.
I know, probably too much information, but
Yeah.
Gary, I'm filling in that sheet, which I'll do while we talk. What's the name of the contact person again?
it's Vinny.
You mean for Casella?
Yeah, Vinny.
Right.
Vincent
Okay, one person.
Allo. Yeah, Vincent Allo, A-L-L-O.
Okay.
But then the other one, there are two others who are going to be there.
Oh, good.
One
Aaron
of them
Banfield.
Yeah,
E-R-I-N.
Aaron Banfield.
Wait, slow down, guys. One at a time, please.
Yeah, Aaron.
Go ahead. All right, I'll go.
Yeah.
Aaron Banfield. And they are bringing along with them I can't remember his name. I just talked to Vincent this morning, but the guy who runs the Holyoke facility.
Okay.
Yeah. Here comes somebody. Got it.
You're on there again, Gary. I don't know if you have two devices on.
Huh? No, I think we got a view issue here. Yeah,
Okay, and Susan's joining us.
there.
Good morning, Gail.
Hey, good morning, all.
Morning,
Hi,
Gail.
Gail.
Morning.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Hi, Susan. And just a reminder that this is being recorded.
Huh.
Gary,
Yes,
do you have-
I'm in twice.
Yeah, that's.
How do we get out of here?
If you go to
I'll mute that one.
participants,
I'll
if
mute
you go to
that
the
one.
participant list.
I'll remove you.
Remove this one, yeah.
You're gone.
Okay, good.
Bye-bye.
And boy,
Bye-bye.
I don't have to.
Gary,
don't
do you
have
have
to
the
echo.
phone number? Do you have the
Susan
phone
is
number
with
for the
us.
phone?
Susan has joined us. She's on mute and no video, but she's here.
I'm here,
Susan.
I'm here, I'm here.
She's off mute.
Hello,
Yay,
Susan.
welcome. Thank you.
While we're waiting, Gary, do you have the phone number for Casella?
Yes, but not.
I
Right with
have
me.
it. It's
Yeah.
802-477-2870.
802.
Gary, did you figure out the third name for Casella?
No, I can't remember it, but it's the guy who runs the Holyoke facility.
Okay,
Oh,
oh, that's
that's fine.
wonderful.
That's a good sign.
Yep.
Where's the office location, Gary,
Which office?
for Casella?
Casella's in Rutland, Vermont.
Rutland, R-U-T-L-A-N-D?
Mm-hmm.
You would be filling out the questionnaire, I guess.
Yeah, because I'll basically use that for the minutes.
Let me tell you guys that Tim has very, very kindly offered to take all meeting notes for our subcommittee and our regular
Oh
meeting.
my
Thank
goodness,
you,
Tim,
thank you.
you're a hero.
So we're grateful. So
But there
he's,
was one
doing-
caveat, which is that you guys let me interrupt you because I type slow and I write slow. And chasing down videos does not seem to be the best approach. So
it's also way more labor intensive to have to rewatch the video and
Yeah.
write it out. So yeah, if you can take, and
Very,
what I said to Tim is we're looking for the gist
Very
of the
general,
discussion,
yes,
not for
right,
every
right.
detail.
I'll review your prior minutes and do it in the same style.
Main points raised. So who's going to lead the discussion here? Are we going to ask questions individually or?
I think, Merrill, why don't you go ahead?
I was
Give
just
it a-
gonna say Gary, if you'd like.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
happy to.
you're so
I
good.
have a copy of them, yep.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm still a
And-
little
and-
bit.
And you'll go with
here
what,
dealing with
and you'll
issues.
go
would
with what it
like-
feels like, not, I mean, there's not any reason we have to go with exactly the order in which
Right.
I would like to suggest that based on what I've witnessed for the last 5 minutes, that when the person comes on, that we raise our hand and Merrill calls on us.
Sure.
Because it's a fairly close-knit group and it looks like we all kind of want to talk at the same time. So that.
Susan,
that's
do
the
you
one
want
of
to
us,
go off video? Do you want us to see you?
Oh, no, that's fine. I just, was having a snack and stuff. So
Okay, no problem.
I as a rule, I don't like to eat on
Meetings.
videos, but
Yeah.
yeah, here. I'm pretty much done.
what is
Maybe-
comfortable.
Well, thank
Susan
you.
might know that contact you're talking about, Gary, that you can't remember the
You-
name of.
Susan, do you know the name of the Casella, the person who runs the Casella facility in Holyoke?
No, no, I did not.
Vincent told me, but I didn't write it down this morning, so we'll
Uh-huh.
get introduced to him.
And before we start with Casella, I just wanted to respond to Gail's request. She had asked if rather than meeting tomorrow, then we can just stay on after Casella leaves the meeting and have a discussion. Because we'll only have one interview today. So I'm totally in favor for that. Would everyone,
Me
I'd
too.
like to make a motion to forget about tomorrow's meeting and do it today. Would
I
someone
move we
want-
have a discussion today and in lieu of a separate meeting tomorrow.
Do I hear a second?
Second,
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Fly shaker,
Okay.
right?
Great, thank you. That's much more efficient way to do it. So I just want to make sure we had that taken out. And I also wanted to mention, I have down here approval of minutes, because we did have a meeting the other day. And what I want to propose is our minutes have their public information. They have things in them about our discussion on the vendors. And I'd like to have all minutes just, I don't know whether we suspend them or held until a later date, accept them all at once at the end of this process so that we don't have them hanging out there. Is there any issue with that, or are we okay doing that?
That
That's a
sounds
good idea.
I
Did
think
you-
it's a
The
good
other thing
idea
we
as
could
long
do,
as
the other
long as
thing we
it's
could do is
kosher.
go into executive session, in which case we wouldn't need to take minutes at all.
Well, these are, we have, the meetings are recorded and anyone could request them from the town.
Right,
So
okay.
the information is available, but, and these meetings are open posted meetings, so anyone can join at any time. I'm just saying, I'm in no rush to get the minutes posted.
I'm okay with that as long as it doesn't violate any kind of
Yeah, that's what we just said. As far
requirement.
as I know, I can check with the town clerk if you want to make
Okay.
sure. But I've never had that as an issue in the past. So I don't see it. Okay, we have
It's Vince.
Vince Allo joining from Casella.
Hello, Vince.
He's connecting to audio. It's not quite there yet.
Little dancing balls.
Something like that. So we're looking at a snowstorm on Monday, it looks like.
Yeah,
Say
Oh,
Monday,
really?
3
Yeah,
to
I,
6.
I
late
think
Sunday,
my,
Monday.
I think
Oh,
my
we
out of
lost-
town
we
trip
just
is gonna
lost
be
Casella.
canceled. So, I'll probably be at the meeting Monday.
Okay, oh, here we go again.
You guys know about Dave Hayes, the weather nut.
Yep.
No, well, I know
No?
about him. I haven't heard anything recently.
Well,
You get his
he's,
weekly newsletter. Hey, Vince, are you
Welcome,
back?
Vince. Welcome, Vince. You're muted and your video's off, but we can see that you are joining the meeting, so.
Good
welcome.
morning. Good morning.
Hello, Vince.
Oh,
Hey,
There you
are.
are.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, you too. And I understand you'll have another 1 or 2 people joining us?
Yes, we're just in the process of wrapping up our weekly, our monthly sales organization huddle that we had at 10 o'clock. So I jumped off to join you cast of characters here and see what we can do. And we're excited about it. Gary and I have had
Great.
several conversations, and I feel like we know each other. We've known each other for years now, so.
That sounds
Yeah.
great. Would you like us to wait until they get here before we have any discussions?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to just hold on for a couple of moments, I'll hop back into the other one. I'll stay on this one, but I'll shut down my mic and my camera, and then I'll come right back to you.
Sounds great.
Great.
In the meantime, Gary can tell you how familiar he is with my hometown in Vermont.
Gary,
maybe
we'd
he'll-
love to hear it.
Maybe
Well,
he's got his
it's-
guitar with him. He can play some Celtic music for you for some entertainment on a Friday morning. So I'll be
Well,
back
as long as you-
momentarily.
Yeah, well, you
Great.
bring your drum kit, Vince.
Deal. I'll see you guys in a minute.
Very
Okay.
good, thank you.
So, yeah, he's from
Oh, it looks
Virginia.
like Erin is joining now too, so maybe
Ah,
that
okay.
other
Here
meeting
comes Eric.
finished up. Oh,
How's
good
Aaron?
morning, Erin.
Yes, Aaron. Morning, Aaron.
Sorry, a couple minutes late.
No problem. And I want to let you both know that this is a town meeting, an official meeting, and it is being recorded for it's just how we do Zoom meetings in the town, so that you're aware.
Sure. Not a problem.
Do we have one more person coming from your group?
I believe Jerry's going to be joining us.
Okay. We'll wait for him if you'd like to start.
What's,
you like-
what's Jerry's full name, please?
Jerry
Galena.
Galena.
ENA. Okay, thank you.
Like the medal.
Erin, any chance you're related to the Banfield Weirs in Shutesbury?
Not that I know of.
Okay. They're longtime residents here.
Walter, right? Walter Banfield. It's a famous name in Shutesbury.
Ah.
Gee,
Yeah.
that could have been our big in.
I'll have to do a little research. If it's helpful for you guys, Vince and I can give you a little bit of background on our roles before Jerry jumps on while we're waiting.
That'd be
idea.
great.
That
Yeah.
would be great. And maybe if
Okay.
you'd like, we can also just quickly introduce ourselves.
Yeah, that would be
Great.
awesome.
Why don't we do ourselves first, and then
Yeah.
you can tell us a little bit about your operation.
Perfect.
So my name is Merrill Mandel, and I should probably revise my name on the little thing. And I'm the chair of the Recycling and Solid Waste Committee. And actually, both Gary and I have been on this committee since 1989, I think.
Since it was formed.
Wow.
Pretty much. So we have a lot of history with this group, and it's been working very well over the years, and we've seen many transitions in the industry. So we're excited to talk to you guys. Gary, do you want to go next?
I'm Gary Bernhard. I joined the recycling committee when it was formed, along with Merrill, in 1989. I became the recycling coordinator in 2009, and I'm still in that role. Lived in Shutesbury since 1983, when the only recycling available was some kind of a shed in the highway department where people could put their newspapers. We've come a long way since then.
Hi, my name is Gail Flyshaker, and I joined the recycling committee when I moved here in 2007. My chief role on the committee is keeping statistics on tonnage, both of trash and of recycling, and calculating how much we save in recycling by not having to pay tipping fees on trash, and keeping that as a public report so that we can have bragging rights and thank our town participants for the recycling.
And Tim?
My name's Tim Logan. I've been on the committee a couple months. And I'll be the secretary for today's meeting, so I may possibly interrupt you occasionally. I apologize beforehand if I do. This is a great committee. I think both of you will enjoy, quite frankly, talking to us because we've got some good people here.
My name is
Thank you. We're
Susan
just a
Wade.
subcommittee, actually, so it's a much bigger group. And Susan's a special guest for us as well.
Yeah, I'm a special guest. My name is Susan Wade. I'm the new Municipal Assistance Coordinator for the Western Region. I work for DEP. I'm replacing Veronique Blanchard, who had the position before me, and I think Arlene Miller had it and before her. So I'm relatively new and I'm learning, so I wanted to hop on and see what I could learn and see if I can help in some way.
And she has been tremendously helpful.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Awesome. That's great.
Well, thank you all, and it looks like Jerry has joined us. He's
Yep.
unmuted, but we don't see a picture yet, but it's up to him if he wants to do that.
By the wrong-
So I'm going to pass it over to you guys to give us a little information about your roles at Casella and the company itself.
Sure.
Go ahead, Aaron.
So Aaron Banfield, I live in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, but I cover our entire footprint. So we operate from Maine, Bangor, Maine, north of Bangor, out to Buffalo. And then now most recently, just over the border into Connecticut. So I manage our municipal strategy across the footprint, working with each of our GMs, both hauling and recycling GMs, as well as our organics line of business, and then disposal as well. So do a little bit of everything, which is fun. So.
Great.
And good morning, everyone. My name is Vince Allo. I'm the Massachusetts Municipal Service Solutions Manager, handling just the Commonwealth of Massachusetts under Aaron. So working with DPWs, decision makers, communities, and municipalities, covering the entire Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I just want to get back to something that both Meryl and Gary said. You both began in 1989. I think it's phenomenal that at the age of 3, you guys were able to be on board the recycling committee when it was founded. I think that's fantastic. So a big salute to you guys.
I
Looking
tell you
forward to
the
working
checks
with
in the
you.
mail, thank you, but that's probably not a good idea with this. And Jerry, would you like to give us a little background?
Well, good morning. Sorry I was a few minutes late on these too many conference calls. You know how they go. They never say, you say 15 minutes, but they turn into, much longer. So I'm Jerry Galina. I'm the market area manager for Casella Waste, which I handle the Central Mass and Western region of Massachusetts. And I've been in the industry over 40 years, and we handle a number of communities like yourselves. We handle Gill, Irving up in your market, along with Worcester, Central Mass. Worcester, we have the entire city of recycling. We handle all the recycling in the city. We also do a couple other towns that we currently have are Holden, Mass, Southbridge. Those are the ones that are in our market municipally wise. And we go, some of our sister divisions, our PBD division handles Brookline. So we have a lot of industry experience, a lot of knowledge within all the markets. So we're prepared to hopefully put something in front of you that will help the town, and we'll see what the future brings.
Great. I have a question for you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Do you sort recyclables? Do you process recyclables in your facility?
Yeah, so we have a facility in Auburn, Massachusetts, where we separate the material. And then I'm sure Erin and myself or Vince can set up a tour. We highly encourage a tour if you'd like to come down and see how the site runs. We process I don't know the exact number of tons that we process every day, but you are welcome to set up. And then believe me, there's an education center there, and you can actually see how the material is separated throughout the day.
You do both single stream and dual stream?
Yes, we have the town of Sterling. We actually do dual stream. We do paper, it's set up separately. It doesn't matter. Every town has their own preference, but we call it zero sort is our Casella logo. But we do both dual stream and single stream.
That's great. Yeah. Gail.
Is there a different cost to the tipping for single and dual stream?
Yes, there is. I don't know if maybe Erin can jump in and she can give you some of the towns that we do serve, some of the numbers.
Just, is there a difference, a significant difference between the two?
Yeah.
It all depends on the market, Gail. So naturally your single stream is just based off the way Casella sets it up. We set it up in a formula, revenue share formula based. So there's an average commodity revenue, which we call an ACR formula.
Yes.
With dual stream, it's the same type of pricing scenario on the commingle side. However, on the fiber side, we base it off of the paper index. So those processing thresholds, the cost to process those materials are a little bit different. Because with our Auburn facility, we've got the ability to take your fibers and bale it right there. Whereas the commingle will still go through the single stream facility. So just it's really just kind of that processing piece, but both are based off of the markets.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a little bit helpful, just to give you guys a sense. Jerry kind of began to surface level give you the Massachusetts layout. So our Auburn facility is both a trash transfer station and the single stream MRF. Jerry's got the hauling division next door as well. And then our presence in Western Mass, we've got a C&D processing facility as well as a trash transfer station in Holyoke. And then Jerry's got another hauling division down the street in Westfield. So for services in the Shutesbury area, we'd be coming out of our Westfield division, just like we are today with Gill and Irving. We've got both collection and processing contracts out that way. I know Vince had shared one of the questions you guys were asking about what other communities we work with.
Right.
So where we don't have a recycling facility out in the Western Mass market today, our plan of service would be to transfer those materials back to Auburn. So today we're servicing the city of Springfield, Agawam, and West Springfield for single stream processing. And what we do is we have a contract with Waste Management that those haulers can pick up the material off the curb, and they deliver those single stream materials into the Waste Management transfer station. And then all of that material we transfer back to our Auburn facility for processing. So it's a little bit of an extra step, if you will, from a processing standpoint, but it's certainly something that we could work with you guys on.
Great. Very helpful. Thanks.
Can you tell us about the type of service that you are providing for Gill and Irving? Just describe what the pickups are like and how that works.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerry, you want to
Yeah.
take that? Because I know we've had some
So-
equipment changes.
So Gill has similar, both trash and recycling, curbside. We service them on Friday. And just some of the, there's some weight restrictions on some of the bags and stuff. Same with Irving. We have the combination of, the recycling plus the bags. They have, they ask the residents, they have their bag program and they set weights on the bags. It's basically done on Thursday. We send a truck out there. Sometimes we send out, depending on the time of the year, we send out one truck that has a split body. It collects trash on one half of it, recycling on the other half, house to house. If we should have a problem where we would notify the town to say if we had a truck down or something like that, that we had to send 2 trucks or whatever, we would notify the town, hey, we're sending 2 trucks today because of the material situation. These are the trucks that we have set for those contracts. We like to do them with a split, we call a split body truck, where the trash goes into one compartment and the recycling goes into the other. But if there's a problem with the equipment, we, sometimes we run 2 trucks because they're both single separation. They only have room for just the material for the, we just set it up for trash or recycle.
Mhm. Great.
And then the only thing to add there, I think, is both of those communities have separate agreements for disposal and processing. So Jerry will collect, he'll deliver the trash to the incinerator in Agawam Community Eco Power.
Yeah.
And then both towns are Springfield MRF members. So the dual stream on each week will be delivered to Springfield.
That's our situation too right now. We have contracts with the MRF
Okay,
and,
so you guys-
and with CPE, yeah,
Okay.
CEP, yeah.
I wasn't sure if USA was handling your processing or not. So that
Yes,
makes a lot of sense. Okay.
yes. You're muted.
Meryl. You're muted.
Meryl, you're muted.
Blah, 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 blah. Do you know off the top of your head what that weight restriction is for your bags or pickup? Maybe Jerry would know that.
Yeah, it's, I want to say it's 40 pounds. It may be 50, but I think it's 40 pounds.
Okay.
I mean, when
That's
there's one
helpful
man
to
on the
know.
truck, if one man on the truck, if they're heavier than that, they just can't get it.
Yeah.
Makes
Ours
sense.
is 35 now.
Yeah, so it's, I think it's about, I may be 5 or 10 pounds off, but I think it's about 40 pounds.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What are
And we
your
do,
bid-
one of the processes we do though, just so you know, is, we have stickers, okay? So if the bag is overweight, we're gonna stick in the bag so that when the, sometimes, we wanna let the customer know that there was a problem. So,
Okay, good.
we tell our drivers to, listen, if you can't pick the bag up, for whatever, if it's too heavy, you sticker it, then, letting them know that there was a problem. Sometimes they call the town hall, it gets a little, it could be an issue. Well, it was where he couldn't pick the bag up. I mean, there's a problem. There's only one guy on the truck. So we do try to let the customers know that this is what's going on.
Thank you. That has been our policy in the past as well in town, we're calling them now sorry stickers. So yeah, that's a really good practice because
We
we
use
want to encourage residents to not follow the rules.
Right.
We follow the states. We have the oops stickers too. I don't know if you've seen those for recycling. We use those too. If somebody mixes material and we're forced to leave a sticker on site. And and not a lot of people, we don't get a lot of pushback in those towns, but, you know, one of the things that we're trying to do is trying to, you know, once we stick of the resident, we try to let the town hall know, hey, we stick at these residents, you know, and if they should call. Sometimes the town reaches out to them, so it all depends if,
That's great.
you know, if you're ready for the speech on how they pay taxes and, you know.
Well,
should-
I usually get the phone calls. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
But the stickers are good education. I mean, I'm
Absolutely,
all for it. Yeah.
absolutely.
I think I had my hand raised. I think Jerry answered the question, but I guess I wanted to understand a little better. You said you had used stickers for overweight trash bags, and how do you use them for recycling? I'm asking because a lot of municipalities, as you know, apply for grants through the DEP, and part of what they have to do is explain what their hauler does or what they do to follow up on problems with people who aren't recycling properly. So what is it that you do for stickering with recycling?
We have two stickers, okay? One sticker is for recycling, which is supplied by the state. It's called an OOP sticker. I don't know if you've seen that, an OOP sticker, okay? We use that for recycling. That will explain, hey, recycling was mixed, or they'll put a little explanation down there, or for whatever reason,
Right.
there's food waste in it, you know, that type of thing. Or there was leaves in it, or old rags, or something that didn't belong in it.
Plastic
Tells
bags.
the yeah, bags.
Yeah.
That tells the customer we have a problem.
The wrong
Okay.
material for this week.
Right, wrong material, wrong week, that kind of stuff, that happens. But at least it gives them an explanation. Does it make them happy? No. Doesn't make them happy. It gets them back on track, and that's.
That's
what
not your job.
That's right.
The thing is though, if you don't let the customer know there's a problem, they're gonna just continue to do it. You know, we encourage, I know Erin has supported me in the past, and she's developed some things on town's websites. We put up a sticker and we can explain it, or, you know, we can help with getting the communication out to the residents on what is recyclable and what isn't recyclable. I know people don't sit at home and look at that particular website every day, but they can at least use that as an educational piece. You know, what did I do
Yeah,
wrong?
that's
this
great.
week?
And what happens if for repeat offenders?
Well, hopefully we can educate them and get to the point that they are, and then the town has to make a decision.
Yeah.
You know, you want us to continue to stop there, and we work for the town, all right? Obviously, these people are residents of your town. We're gonna do everything we can to help educate the person at the curb. That's not something that we're not trying to do, but, you know, we have had people 2 or 3 times continue with the same program, and then when you leave the material, eventually they get it, they get to a point. I have never had that issue where, shouldn't say that, where I've talked to the town about a resident, and they've kind of reached out and say, listen, these are the things that you need to do to make it right. So as long as we communicate all the way around, we're not looking to make this more difficult than what it is, but what we don't want to happen is bring the material to the facility in Springfield and have them say to us, you know, you got food waste in there, you got leaves in there. That's not a good situation. They contaminate the load, and then whatever monies is coming to the town, you know, they say the load is no good, and it just makes an all-around problem for everybody. So the best we can do is to continue to educate, and hopefully the people get the message.
That's a good lead into one of our questions. What do you guys see as the biggest challenge from your point of view for communities like ours?
So we don't have a lot of problems with the material. Obviously, the best thing is the town, you know, going to support, you know, what we're trying to do at the curb. Obviously, I would assume that's never been a problem. But we don't really, I mean, you have a resident here or a resident there, that may be an issue, but basically, if we we continue and we're consistent in what we do. People have the material out at 7 o'clock in the morning when we start the routes and that kind of thing. I don't believe it's not really a big issue for us. It's not a challenge. I think people have realizing that recycling is today. It's not something that's going away. It's here, it's the future, and people are definitely, we have one of the largest recycling contracts in the state of Massachusetts. That's the city of Worcester, and they recycle over 1,200 tons a month. Do we have our issues? Yes.
How not?
It has its problems because there's a lot of 3-family homes. There's a lot of some low economic sites in the city that, they mix material, but we try to follow the policy of, we try to stick to it, and their residuals are coming down. They're getting better and better all the time. So we are working on, we have that town, and then we have the town of Holden. Holden is a different situation. They have toters, and their residuals isn't as bad as you would think they were because they have 2 toters. They have one for trash, one for recycling, and they're not a bad mixture. They don't try to hide something underneath. They do have some residuals, but we are constantly working with them to get that straightened out. We've had that contract since 2007, along with the city of Worcester, some of these other contracts.
Gary, you had a question?
Yeah, Jerry, are Gill and Irving dual stream communities?
No.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. Actually, not even, Aaron, I can't remember which one. Are you asking which one is?
Well, I'm just asking if they're one or both are dual stream.
Yeah, they are, Gary.
are.
And one thing we did, I think, so before we took over the service in both those towns, they were serviced on the same day. So one of the small changes we had to make is we had to move Guild to a Thursday collection. And then they had, somehow I think they had backwards
Yeah, they were.
material weeks. So we aligned, so every week they both have fiber picked up, and then the following week it's both commingled, just so it kind of helps the market and the residents, the neighbors, if you will, keep it a little bit more.
That's
organized.
what we have too. We have alternate weeks. We have
Pay for one week and commingle the next.
right.
And our typical pickup day is on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, that works good for
So
us.
that sounds like it's right in line for you guys, because you're Thursday. and
Perfect
Friday.
fit.
We were made for each other.
That's right.
Find out once you bid.
I have a
It's
general
always the rest
question.
of the story. Yep, go ahead.
If we view our town and your company as a partnership for something that's very important, what can we do as one partner to help it be a successful relationship? What do you expect from a recycling committee and the town? What things help you the most so that the relationship goes well and has good longevity?
Well, I think the way I would answer that is we support each other. We want the residents of the town to recycle properly. We want to work with the town. When things come up, we want to be able to notify the town, hey, these things are now can go to the recycling. We want to help support the town. We want to, like I said to you, and Eric can speak to it, but we're going to, we want to get on your, on the website, on the town's website, and we want to help educate as many residents as we can. And there are a number of things that we can do to help, do that. So I don't know if, Erin, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think I would just elaborate. It's almost, what could we do for you, Tim? What questions are you guys getting on a repeated basis that we can either help craft a mailer or give you guys some videos or community points from other communities. And then I think the biggest thing is how can we help you set goals, whether it's diverting more material, getting to a lower contamination rate, piloting programs, whether it's drop off food waste, collection points, or something of where does the town want to go? How do we set those goals? And then how do we kind of pick away at achieving them?
Yeah, and
Sounds really promising. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Vince.
oh, I'm sorry, Meryl. To Aaron and Jerry's point, I think communication is vital also. You as a committee, that's my role representing Casella. And I think Gary will tell you that, I'm very quick to respond. That's one thing that I can bring to this, among others, but one thing that I will definitely be instrumental for you in the transition and then in the future moving forward is I'm the person that you can lean on. If there happens to be an issue as a community, as a committee, please reach out and you will get a response from me that we are working to, address a situation or work in combination, like Aaron said, about education or anything along those lines. That's one of the roles that I play with Casella is I'm that middle person. So, that's what I'm here for. If there happens to be something that you guys have a question on, direct line of communication, and just keep us up to date with what you're hearing from the community as well. So then we can address it as a partnership.
So
Thank you.
getting back to to an earlier question, what kinds of problems or challenges do you usually have with rural communities? Are there certain things that come up that we should be aware of or that we can learn from and prevent going forward for you or others?
I see two screwed up faces.
Yeah. I mean, I think, Jerry answered it earlier that I don't know as if there are specific challenges. Naturally, you're going to have weather challenges. You're going to have the missed pickup or the late set out, if you will. You're going to have the resident that puts out the commingle when it's fiber week. And I think the challenge that really encompasses all of that is what the communication is, and how it's rectified. So if it's an easy, to Vince's point, an easy communication line to us, hey, here's the issue, let's resolve it as soon as possible. We've got a customer care center that could field residents' calls, and Gary, unless you wanted to keep getting those. But I think it's all about what's that specific problem. There's usually not two that are exact same, and just what's the communication plan.
Great, thanks.
Jerry, I don't know if you have like operationally anything to add on to that.
No, I think we're good. We're good.
I'm asking, I just wanted to add that I'm asking in part because Western Mass, as you know, has a lot of rural communities, and a lot of the haulers are wanting to go single stream and pushing for single stream, and it's more difficult culturally and for other reasons as well in some rural communities to do that. So I also am kind of interested to see what direction Casella is headed. Are you right now you service dual and single stream communities? Is there a general push towards single stream? Are you wanting to, how do you feel about servicing dual stream communities? Is that kind of a long-term commitment, or are you kind of hoping to get out of the game sometime soon?
So I think there's a couple different scenarios there, Susan. One thing I'll just start off with. So we operate 13 single stream facilities across our footprint. So our business is based around the single stream method, but where we've got the facilities and the infrastructure in place, we can handle dual stream. For us, I would say it's more of a town feeling. If dual stream is what you want to continue doing, that's absolutely fine with us. We'll pick it up every other week. A community like Shutesbury, if we were to go single stream, just because of the logistical collection component and the equipment we would want to use, would still probably service like half the town one week on recycling and half the town the next week. That might get a little bit more complex just in a sense of how much recycling fits on the truck versus throwing a second truck out there. One thing, we're spending X $1 million. We're pulling out our entire single stream processing equipment in Charlestown, which is the 5th largest MRF in the US. And we're investing, $20 million in new equipment. So Casella as a whole, we're committed to the recycling industry as a whole. We've been a forerunner since 1976. And all the way to present day, we're investing and innovating every day. So recycling is not going away for us. And I'd say it's a preference of what works best in the community. And then the second piece to that is kind of just carry on of equipment. One of the challenges you run into when you're talking from a dual stream community converting to an automated collection is, people automatically think now I have to have 3 carts and there's an added expense there. I've got to have a commingle cart, a fiber cart, and a trash cart. There's ways around that as well. You could just tell the residents you're getting 2 carts and have a 3rd barrel and just swap them out each week. So, the industry says single stream is the way to go when you're going automated because it's easy. It's one bin, everything goes in it, no more separating for the residents. And again, we operate facilities to handle that material, but I think it's on the community and what your goals are and what you're set out to do.
Can I ask you, have you actually, I'm changing the subject a little bit, but have you had a chance to drive the roads of Shutesbury at all yet? I mean, it's fairly similar to Gill, actually,
Yeah.
now, but I'm wondering if you've been in Shutesbury yet. It's no problem if you haven't. I'm just curious.
No, I haven't.
Go ahead,
I-
Jerry.
No, I haven't traveled the streets, but rural is rural. And I believe that we will be able to service it. But I'll definitely take a ride out there. I'm out in McGill and Irving a lot.
Yeah, I would say we're fairly similar to Gill in terms of the hilliness, because I bike ride up in Gill sometimes, so I know that they have some good hills. And related to that, do you have to make any changes to your collection methods in winter? Especially if, I don't know, do you know the portion of gravel roads they have in town in Gill? I don't know how many gravel roads they have.
What kind of roads are they?
What's that?
What kind of roads were they?
Gravel.
Gravel, dirt road. So we have put chains on our trucks before, if need be. Obviously, we use them in some of our larger hilly communities. Like I use the city of Worcester. Worcester's the city of 7 Hills. So we use them during the storms. We don't drive with them all the time, just during when it snows. Does snow there, right? Is it sunny and 85 every day, or does it snow in Shrewsbury?
Shutesbury, not Shrewsbury.
No, I was thinking about how common the name is between the two. Shrewsbury's right outside of Worcester.
Right.
But I'm sure you get some tricky weather there too. But we would have chains on the trucks.
Well, we even made a mug, for a fundraiser for the library. It says Shutesbury, not Shrewsbury.
Okay.
But our other mug says Shutesbury, keep the secret.
The other thing you guys should think, I was thinking it's like Chutes and Ladders, but with an S. You guys should do something funny with Chutes and Ladders. There's a certain era of people that remember that one. Aaron might not.
Oh, yeah.
might not
No,
have
I
the
definitely
experience.
do. I definitely do.
Yeah.
Can I go back to Gail's earlier question? Just like percentage wise, as a gross generality, is there a minimal difference between the cost for single stream and dual stream, or is it quite significant? Maybe Gail wants to add on.
What I was trying to get at was the tipping fee,
The processing.
not
fee.
necessarily the overall cost, but is the tipping fee for single stream greater or lesser than a tipping fee for dual stream collection?
A tipping fee is what?
What is paid per ton at the processing plant for processing?
I'm still curious about my question, though. As an overall cost, is there significant savings from single stream
To whom?
to town?
So we just did this analysis in Sterling. As Jerry mentioned, they're a dual stream community now. We are transitioning them to an automated collection and they'll go single stream. Significant is not the word I'd use in looking at the cost differentiate for dual stream to single stream. There are what we look at as the advantages to going single stream, or is you typically see an increase in volume because it's a little bit easier. You know, you have the cart, so you typically have more space. So I don't want to say set in stone, yes, significant or insignificant pricing difference, because it really is relying on the market. And I know that's a hard answer to kind of accept, because 1 month it could be super beneficial to keep dual stream, and the next month it could be pennies of either. So.
Okay, thank you.
Gary, comment?
The MRF charges dual stream communities about $90 a ton for processing, and single stream about $150 a ton for processing. And I think that's because the dual stream recyclables are generally in better condition than the single stream recyclables. They don't have as much contamination in them. And so, yeah, in the processing. And so they're in some ways they're more sellable. They're, you know, you can get a better price for the dual stream. And I think that's why the processing fee is less at the MRF.
Thanks, Gary.
Yeah,
I would have
sorry, I would
No,
just
that's okay.
add there too, you know, the MRF today has the advantage of having the infrastructure there. The single stream rate out in Western Mass, there's no single stream facility. So all of those single stream communities are going into a transfer station and then have to be transferred to a processing site. So, you know, yeah, exactly. So you've got the processing number, and then the industry typically just takes that extra handling and transportation costs and adds it to that threshold. So you're not seeing two numbers. So, so there's added travel cost in that number.
Great.
Winnie. Gail, do you have a question?
Yeah, how many trucks per collection in Gill? 1 or 2?
One,
Yeah, just one.
just one.
Do you have any questions for us that you're curious about? We'd be happy to entertain any of those.
Just operationally, I guess, do you guys offer bulky waste collection, or do you have a drop-off location in town that residents can bring
So
items to?
for many years in town, we ran 2 bulky waste days in town, and they worked well for a long time, but they started getting really expensive. And next door to our town is the town of Leverett, which has a transfer station and takes bulky waste. And we worked with them to allow Shutesbury to buy stickers for bulky waste only, not for our trash and recycling. They're not allowed to bring that there, but they can bring bulky items there. So that's what we've been doing the last several years, and it's been very effective as a way of handling bulky waste in town. So we as a town decided to no longer offer the bulky waste days, and it seems to be working out really well. But with that said, can I just finish, Gary?
Sure, go ahead.
But what we want to be able to do as well is consider maybe a separate option of being able to pick up certain bulky items at people's houses by agreement or by contract directly with a resident, especially for some of our older residents or people without pickups, whatever, that have real difficulty getting certain items to the transfer station. Gary?
I just want to add that Leverett also has a swap shop, take it or leave it facility, and our residents have access to that as well. So with bulky waste and the swap shop, it's actually works out very well for us.
Great.
Good for getting artist supplies. Aaron, did you have another question?
Yeah, Jerry, I don't know if you have any other kind of operational.
No. So is it being done Wednesday right now, correct?
Correct.
And how many trucks are they using?
2.
Two.
They're using 2 trucks. So they're doing one with trash and one with recycling.
I think they have 2 split trucks.
They start from opposite ends of the town, don't they?
Yeah.
But they pick up both, so it must be a split truck.
Yeah, it's a split truck. They're 2 split trucks.
Okay.
Does anyone either on the committee or DEP or Casella folks have any further questions or items you want to talk about? We really appreciate you guys giving us your time and your
Yeah,
interest.
most helpful, very helpful.
Very
Yeah.
helpful indeed, yeah.
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, the only kind of last question I'd have is timeline, what you guys are thinking about for RFP, and it'd be a July 1 start, correct?
It's July 1 start. We have a head start on putting together an RFP. We just need to finalize it. So we would probably issue that towards the end of this month if we could, and potentially, we haven't talked definitely on a schedule, but we're shooting for, possibly response by
Okay.
March, beginning of March, something like that to get set up. We will send out directly some of the RFPs to some of the primary bidders of interest, but also put it in the regular places like the central registry. And there's one other central location that our town administrator mentioned that they publish them, and those go out to every solid waste vendor in the state. So we're going to get it out as widely as we can, but that's our current plan for distribution and schedule.
And then do you guys, and I don't know if you have this answer today, but do you intend on extending your contract with the Springfield MRF and CEP?
We're in a 5-year contract with them
Okay.
in our 2nd year now.
Okay.
So, yeah,
And then the same on the disposal side as well?
same with
Okay.
the CEP. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay. Last chance for questions or comments from anybody.
I just want to make a comment as a newcomer. I think you 3 have been really helpful. I'm continually learning and enjoyably about this process, but I love the way you guys came on and answered everything we needed, and I appreciate being
Thank
able to talk to you.
Yeah, we all do.
Excellent.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you having us. Thank you.
Okay,
you.
well, thank you all for coming, and we'll look forward to working with you further on the RFP and proposal process. So,
Outstanding.
thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Have a nice
you.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Stay safe.
Okay, I can see that the 3 of them have left the meeting, so we're good. I would guess you guys are as ecstatic as I am.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I am thrilled.
Talk
I
about
must
a
say.
match.
No,
Well-
tell me why. Why are you saying unbelievable and thrilled? I'm
Well,
just curious.
Well, we got that cancellation this morning for the reasons that we had heard already from,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Gary, but I just want to say this is a public meeting. It's being recorded. It could be
Right.
requested.
I'm
think
not,
our
no
discussion
names.
should be very careful.
I didn't say any
what we
names.
say.
I just,
No, I'm just saying.
anyway,
I want to remind you.
what I heard in this discussion is that this is a company that is familiar with our kind of collection process, that they're doing Gill and Irving already. They're doing backloading trucks. They're doing dual stream. And apparently they want the business.
And our
that's
collection schedule fits in perfectly with what they've got going already.
right. Now, whether we have to change our process in the future or not, we don't have time to make that change right now. And this sounds like a company that we could work with if indeed change is coming, to work that over time, to make that change come over time instead of jumping right into something that we're really not prepared for yet.
Gail?
It sounds also as if they would have the infrastructure to be the processing for both the trash and the recycling at a site closer than the long haul to Holyoke as it stands now, which would be both easier in terms of their process and should be, well, and that would be one of the points against one of the arguments in this morning's refusal, the distance to cover and to get things there in time.
To get things where, I'm sorry?
As it stands now, our stuff is delivered to Holyoke. And one of the reasons for a refusal this morning was that it takes so long to get things collected here and then get to the collection site before the gates close. And given bad weather or traffic, that's not always possible, which leads to all kinds of complications. So that's not to act on now, but it hangs out there as a possible, and particularly as you say, they're wanting to expand their business and
what hangs out as a possibility
of using them for processing in addition to hauling.
Yeah, the transfer station in Holyoke. Otherwise, I mean, CEP is in Agawam, and so it's farther to go. And but it was interesting to hear that both Irving and Gill have the same situation we have.
Yep.
The recyclables go to the MRF, and the trash goes to CEP.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
And Gill is a hill town. That didn't seem to slow them down at all.
It's very similar. And related to that, Gail, I was, it sounded to me, what I heard was they do not change the route or the pickup locations in winter. They would go down the gravel portion of Winter Road with chains on their vehicles. And
yeah,
if they can say that and are already handling Gill, which has some really steep roads and gravel roads, then it sounds like we wouldn't have to deal with bringing everything to the end of the roads. And that would make a lot of people in town happy.
I had some real questions.
Go ahead.
I had some real question about that, because the first thing that occurred to me of chains on a gravel road is damage being done to the road.
No.
On a hill, chains under big weight.
I mean, if you're talking about mud season, when the frost is not deep in the ground and the top part of the road is soft, it doesn't matter what you have, it's going to damage the road. So chains are not going to be more destructive than anything else, in my opinion, having worked as a public works highway person for 30 years.
Are those the hill roads in Gill gravel, or are they paved?
I don't know for a fact, but I believe that they have a number. I know they have a lot of gravel roads because I've been on them.
His response to the question of chains was about Worcester. Well, those are going to be paved streets, not gravel roads.
Well, one of the things I was going to suggest for our group is that someone call Gill and Irving and we can just talk to them about their system. So I think that would be good. And
actually, Gill and Irving are part of the Franklin County Solid Waste Management District. So I think all you would need is a call into Jan Amin. I actually asked her which of her towns are serviced by Casella. And I'm also waiting to hear back from North Berkshire Solid Waste Management District. I know that they have a lot of Casella municipalities.
Yeah. Susan, is Jan okay? I know she had COVID, yeah, and she was not feeling well.
Yeah, as far as I know, she's okay. She's continuing to answer emails from me and pretty rapidly sometimes. So I'm hopeful that she's okay. I don't have any details.
Right. I mean, I'm happy to call Amy, Amy Donovan, if
Yeah, I don't know that Amy, well, yeah, Amy might have some info about Casella, but mostly from a transfer station perspective. Amy
right.
handles transfer station stuff and compost and
Mhm.
a lot of the contract stuff and other administrative stuff is Jan's bailiwick.
I just don't want to bug Jan if she's not feeling well.
So
Well,
for
she'll
the
let you
minute-
know if she can't, if she
Yeah.
For the minutes, who would be calling who? Who's volunteering and who
Well, I
would they
think
be?
somebody on your committee should call Jan. I mean, I can look and see what
Okay, I don't know the names. Jan is
she
from
said.
Irving.
She said Casella,
I mean,
Jan Amin. She said Casella has a curbside contract in Irving and Gill. They each have 600 households. Trash is manual, though some residents use carts. So I think if you want more information, Jan is probably the person to talk to.
And who is Jan? Does she work?
Jan Amin is the executive director of the Franklin County Solid Waste Management District.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gary, do you want to call her or do you want me to call her?
I know her. I don't have her number, but I can get it, I'm sure. But what I'll do is email her.
I would email her and
Yeah.
ask if you can have a phone conversation if she
Yeah.
feels up for that, and then
I will.
if you would summarize that and email it to us, that would be
Yep.
great.
Well, I'll send it to you.
Gary,
I'm talking about your discussion with her if she's willing to talk to you.
Okay.
Gary, I've just got another email from Jan and she says she's back in the saddle. So,
Okay, great. Great. Well,
And very
I'll just-
responsive.
yeah,
Emailed her.
super.
Do you all think that in those conversations, we could get any idea of basically their average cost per household in these two towns?
Oh,
Well, I don't know about that, but I'll bet we can
They give you a
probably get the
contract price.
contract amount. The annual contract price.
That would help us from being totally surprised.
Yeah.
I'm looking over some of the other information that I've been provided and somebody said that for a hauling contract bid that was fairly recent, Casella submitted bids for some of their towns and they were very high. So that's just one comment from one person. Just
Yeah,
so,
and- And I would say to everyone here, though, we need to keep this between us. I mean, it is public information, but I don't think we should talk a lot around town about cost pricing, who's
Mhm.
interested and what they're doing. I think we need to just focus on completing the RFP and getting it out there as soon as possible.
Right.
So, Gary, you said you will call Jan Amin,
I will call Jan.
have a discussion with her.
Well, I'll
and then
email her
send-
first and then see
Yeah.
if she wants to
Send us
talk. Yeah.
Send us a summary of her thoughts, but I don't think we should wait for that to move forward on trying to get a draft RFP out and certainly get it to legal in town to start completing. So I would like to propose to the group that we keep the wording in there as we had it and not in reference to changing it to an automated type collection, because it sounds like we should at least get some bids, a bidder, if we keep it that way. Is everyone fine with that? Gail?
Meryl, can I go through the RFP then and undelete those references to 35-pound limits, for instance, and some
Well, I would change it to a 40-pound limit if that's what they're used to, because certainly bigger, heavier is
He was
better.
unclear. He was unclear about that.
But he thought, he didn't ever say less than 40. He thought it might be 50. And I think
Mhm.
40 is reasonable. So let's just say 40.
I would guess part of the reason for it coming up with 35 is also the bag strength. And you don't want to be opening up to bags bursting on their way to the truck.
Right.
I would really urge sticking with 35. It's worked well for how many years?
Okay, that's fine.
I agree. Yeah.
That's fine.
It's what people are used to anyway.
Yep.
No.
Susan, I also wanted to respond to your question about why. Sorry, that was snow coming off my roof.
It sounded like a shot.
Real excitement. Yeah, it really did.
And that was the general attitude of all three of them.
Mhm.
This is about a service to the town, education on recycling and how to make it work. And that seemed to be their emphasis. Yes, there are these technical things. Yes, there are these procedural things. Yes, there are these logistical things, but the relationship mattered large to them. And that, I think that counts for a lot.
Okay, who would, I'm willing to do it, but if someone else would like to go through the RFP one more time. Did you say, Gail, you wanted to update the language relating to removing the double cross throughs for the
Yeah,
coders?
I'll go do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
so is that something that this committee can decide on to remove that language, or is that something that
Yes.
the whole
Yeah.
committee should vote on?
no,
That's what we're,
no, we would designate it to complete the RFP.
Right.
Mhm.
and then it goes to council anyway. So
Yeah, so what I would suggest, Gail, what's a reasonable time for you to get that?
what time is it now?
What time is it now? So you're thinking you can do it in the next day or two?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if you can do that and then just send an email to this group saying this is the completed best version I have, and then we will take one look at it as well.
Okay.
And if anyone has any changes, just don't make them in the document unless they're really just a typo grammatical thing. Let us all know what you also would propose to change.
So I'll leave
And
it. I'll
by
do it as
Monday,
suggested.
let me
edit.
finish, please. By Monday, what I'd like to say, if we have that all completed, I don't know if people can turn around that fast, then what I'd like to do is forward that on to legal counsel for their review, because that's going to take some time. So we'll get that going. We'll ask Becky to let us know how quickly we can get this back from legal. And then as soon as we get that back, if we're good, we should issue the RFP because we got to keep this moving.
So I'm a little confused. I'm sorry, forgive me if I missed something, but you're proposing that you cut out the option of single stream.
No.
Okay,
No.
what is it that you're
Okay,
redlining?
so what we borrowed some language from, well, most of the language from East Long Meadow and then our last contract. East Long Meadow talked about the requirement on automated collection.
Mhm.
What we want to do is remove the automated collection references and just keep it the same kind of open. We don't specify what the collection type is.
I see, okay.
Keep
Okay,
that in
so
there.
if
as
somebody
per our
wanted to
proposal.
propose automated,
They
they
could.
would not be avoided. They would have the chance to do that. Okay,
Absolutely.
It's basically manual
Yes, they
collection,
would.
whether it's dual or single stream, right?
We just are
No.
saying we're going dual stream and we want dual stream. And we, as a
we let
committee,
them decide whether they would offer to do automated versus manual.
just bags.
Well,
Yeah.
what Longmeadow, Arlene told us that what Longmeadow had negotiated with its hauler was that they have dual stream and they have automated collection for trash, but then they have manual collection for recyclables. And
Or they allow people to use.
or
their
they
own.
allow people to just put bins out, so it's, yeah.
So I think there's a little confusion, Gail. There
Yeah.
were two different issues you're talking about. One is whether we're doing automated or manual collection.
Right.
And we're going to stick with the manual collection. Susan's bringing up the question about whether there was any question we was going from our current dual stream, and we are not. We're sticking
Right.
with dual stream collection.
But
No,
you're
No,
instructing me
actually,
to
my
re-
question was about manual versus automated.
Automated, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I don't, if we are removing, if you are removing the language, I mean, if you're looking for a manual collector, then USA is not going to be interested, right?
Right.
So,
Probably not, but we're not going to assume anything. They can
okay,
respond however they want. And
Mhm.
same with
Right.
Republic. I mean, we want it open to everybody to be able to submit, but if they don't like the specs, if they don't like our request for proposal, then they won't respond. It's up to them.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
asked me to remove references to auto collection. So what do you mean?
There's double cross here. The language that's left doesn't specify that we use automated or bags. It's broader. So either could
Okay.
be
so
put
you're,
in there. We
so you're
tell them
saying-
what we're doing now and then allow
Okay.
them to
Introduce.
say, here's the method we want, or this is what we plan
Okay.
to do.
so you're
It's a
going with the
little
broader
more-
language.
Yes,
Correct.
yes.
Got it. Well, I'll
Okay.
do it as suggested edits. And Meryl, if that doesn't work, you'll see it.
Correct. And I believe I saved a copy of the RFP as it is right now before we've changed anything. So if we need to go back to the language, we have it.
Yep.
I don't think we will, but, and we've agreed that we're going to try to finalize as best we can by Monday. Gail will get us her piece of it. Sounds like possibly
Before
today,
supper
and then we
tonight.
could take a look. Yeah, whatever, by tomorrow morning or something. So we can take a look at it over the weekend, and then I will get it to Becky on Monday.
Okay,
She actually has access to it anyway,
it's a
but
deal.
let me just look at the questions that I had for her to make sure there's anything. So she's already requested prevailing wage rates, from what I understand. Combuys, COMMBUYS, is the other statewide purchasing platform in addition to the central registry, where the bid will be posted, which means it will go out statewide in the recycling hauling category. So everyone who's in that business, and this is to Tim's question that he had asked before, will get to see this. So we may have some surprise bidders. No one, just because we're interviewing a few of these people doesn't mean they're the only ones who will bid. Let's see. Okay. The only other thing, Gail, this is important as you're putting, you're revising things. Becky I asked her about, should we add an option or a 1 or 2 year contract extension over the 5 years of the contract? And she said, if we do, it needs to be strong and enforceable, unlike the one in the current contract.
Right.
She said, Donna will advise. Do you want to take a shot at adding an option in the back for 1 year extension? So it would be adding an option, whatever it is, 3 maybe. That just says, or you can even put it under 1 where we have the 5 years and then just add another year or 2 and just put optional at the beginning.
They're not going to say now whether they would option extension.
No,
Right.
I think it's going to have to be an agreement. If you put in, an option for a 1 year extension, subject to the agreement of both parties or something like that, because I don't think we can
Have them put it under-
demand that
Make it part of the
the town,
contract.
yeah.
Could you
Okay.
send me that language, please, Gary?
You mean what I just said?
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'll add that to the list of options. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
it's-
I don't think it would be an option in this case, the way he's saying it. I think it would just be language in the contract, possibly in the initial scope towards the beginning of the contract, when we're saying we're looking to bid for 5 years, then to add that sentence in.
Yeah, and I think we've got that. What we have is in the original RFP.
In the town's
Is-
RFP,
Yeah,
not
in
Long
the
Meadows,
town-
but in Shutesbury's.
In ours, yeah.
Right. That
There was-
there was an option, but it wasn't clear about how that was going to be determined.
Yeah, so that was the problem was, it wasn't anything we can enforce. We asked USA Waste if they would extend the contract, and they just said no.
At the
So-
11th hour too, yeah.
Well, yeah, so you can look at that language and see if there's some way you could make it stronger, or put in that language and then just add a comment that says legal, can you make this more enforceable or require them to bid? Or
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
think
how would you-
rather than what I would say, I think our council needs to look at it and see if there's a way to make it stronger, to give the town more authority,
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I
and
So
extending
that'll-
it through.
that'll be a note to legal,
Right,
looking at the contract. Okay,
correct.
okay,
We get, but that sentence does have to get added in because it's not in there now,
to the contract.
to the RFP.
Yeah,
To the RFP. And you can take the sentence that was in the last Shutesbury RFP. I'll try to find that and send it to you and tell you where it was, so you don't
There
have
you go.
to.
And where it goes. Yeah, I'm not clear. Okay,
Susan, can you tell me how to spell Jan's last name?
M is in Mary, N is in Nancy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, have you guys looked at the information that the DEP has on solid waste management contracts and contracting?
No,
no,
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you. This is all, it's a relatively new piece that was added, I think, last year. In early 2020, I think.
added to FERCog,
I'm sorry,
added in FERCog, you mean?
no, to the DEP
add to the
website.
website. And they have contract guidance and templates. And there's state contract, there's various things that there's a collection contract template. And actually there's two, one's in a doc form and one's in a PDF. So they have a processing contract template and a collection contract template. And they also have best practices checklist. So I'm going to send this, actually, can I send this to you, Gary, and you can forward it along to everybody?
Sure.
Okay.
I wish we had known this though a week ago when we were going through everything. It's like kind of late to do it. We have almost a finished RFP.
Well, but now
Oh,
you'll
well.
know, you can see if you're missing anything. I
Yep.
think, yeah.
But we cribbed from Long Meadows RFP, and I'm sure Arlene was familiar with that.
Yeah,
I know
no,
Arlene.
I'm sure,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll do a quick compare. I think we've slept with the RFP for a while, so pretty familiar with it. At least I have. We've cuddled up really close and cozy, so I'd be able to tell if we're missing a lot of things or not. Okay.
Yep.
I think we've got marching orders pretty comprehensively. Anyone else want to review anything? We do have Monday's meeting with Republic, and I think we
No,
should,
with
I'm sorry, with
USA.
USA Waste.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not sure if that'll be really a long meeting because we've already talked to them about many of these things, but I'm happy that they're going to meet with us, and I'm not sure it'll change anything that we're talking about now though. So I think we should move on.
Right.
We can always we'll wait, I'll wait to submit it to, excuse me, to Becky for legal until after our meeting on, what time was it on Monday? Was it at?
Are there specific
10:30.
questions?
Okay.
Are there additional questions beyond what you have on your list that you're going to want to ask USA? Since they are your current provider? I just thought maybe we might want to spend a few minutes thinking about Monday's conversation before we hang up. What's going to be different from this past one?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's what I'm saying is I don't think there is a lot more to discuss with them really. I think it's going to be a quick conversation.
Okay. And so tomorrow's meeting is canceled.
Tomorrow's meeting is canceled. I will get on
Yep.
to the town website now and cancel that.
And Monday at 10:30, I guess, what, you want to meet at us at 10:15?
And
No, Mondays is at, wait a minute.
Monday's at 10:30.
Why are these times wrong? Oh, this was the old meeting. I
And
printed
Gary,
out-
had you sent me a copy of the RFP draft? Do I have access to
No,
that? Or
no, I haven't.
okay.
Yeah, I will. But
I'd be
again, it's
interested
going to
to
go
see
through
it.
some changes. Do you
Mhm.
want the most recent one?
Well, or yeah, sure.
I
Okay,
saved it to Word in current format if you just want the current one.
Sure. That's fine. Thank you.
okay, yep.
And
When did you
the,
take it? When did you take it, Tim?
I saved it this morning. Just
Okay,
before.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if Monday meeting is posted at, that's posted at
10:15.
10:30. What's that?
We said 10:15.
Well,
You said 10:15.
I don't know if it's posted at 10:15. The meeting is at 10:30.
Well, with the,
Yeah.
with
It's
USA.
USA, yeah.
I think it is posted at 10:15. I will double check, which just means I'll get on at 10:15. I don't think we have a lot to talk about that. We might want to talk a few minutes about the RFP changes over the weekend.
Okay.
And I might have some information from Jan before that, so.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll start then. And I'm gonna wait, like I said, until after that meeting to be in touch with Becky and town council.
Yep. Okay.
Anyone have anything else? I'm actually very hopeful at this point.
Yep.
I thought that was a great conversation
Yep.
this morning.
It was,
And,
it was. It's going to be a lot more than we've been paying. I mean, the
Yeah.
bid.
Yeah.
But, and we just should understand that.
Well, we've already brought that forward to our finance committee.
Yes, we
They're
certainly
aware of
have.
that. Yeah, there's already discussion in town. It's that is out of our control in terms of what we get for bids. Gary, do you think with the information we have now, before that we should meet with FinCom, tell them we're ready to meet with them? I think we have enough information to do that. We don't have any numbers and we can't give them any numbers
So why me?
because they want to hear about the increase in general. So
But we don't know what the
Right.
increase is.
we
We
don't.
won't know.
But if we can't wait until after we get the bid, I don't think. Well, I can call Jim Walton and ask him if he
See
wants.
when he would like to have it, because right now, what we would be able to give is nothing more than Eric's, very general.
Correct.
Yeah, so,
Well, the thing is, they're working, finance committee's working on a schedule of when they get everything together. So that
right,
it can't be after they've got everything ready for annual town meeting, which is at the end of April. So that's why I'm saying they start finalizing their numbers soon, and we don't have anything exacting. I'll call Jim and ask him when he wants to meet.
well, and, tell him we want to get the RFP out as soon as possible, and we want it back by March something. And if they're looking for the end of April, that should give them time, for us to have a real figure.
Yeah, I mean, that would be more appealing, would be to wait as long as we can to meet with them, because then we'll have to take less blowback. For a short period of time.
And we'll have something
Right.
real to talk about. And we won't
Yeah.
feed the rumor mill.
Right.
Yeah, maybe it'll die down.
Or
So,
the next door Shutesbury mill.
yes,
That's,
Susan, you're probably not aware that Becky had gone to Finance Committee and told them that we're gonna have a big increase in solid waste costs because I had
Oh,
told
no.
her, no,
Yeah.
it's important they know that. We need that for financial planning purposes. But there are a couple of people on our Finance Committee who are alarmists and totally have no problem with spreading all kinds of information that's incorrect.
I see.
So they started this on our next door Shutesbury listserv, and there were a lot of, they're talking about putting a transfer station in town and on and on. And Gary sent a very reasoned response back, which thank you, Gary, for doing that. I said I was dealing with some health issues with my family and it was stressful and that my response may not be very nice. So I wanted him to respond. So anyway, I don't think it's gonna go a whole lot further. So I will call Jim and talk to him about when he wants to
Yeah,
see.
just
this.
see what
I'm
he,
hoping-
what he,
I'll
what he
push for later.
absolutely needs.
what he's looking
Yeah.
for, yeah. If he's looking for ballpark or real numbers. We might learn something too if we can get the contract costs of Casella at Gill.
I'll try to find that out. Yeah.
I mean, that may or may not be relevant. If they have only one truck in Gill, they have fewer households in Gill and one truck.
Like half as many. As we have.
No,
Well,
they
it
said
sounds like they
600.
want to use the same truck.
Well, he said they had 400 households in each town. And I thought Irving
Oh.
was bigger
No,
than
that came from Jan,
Oh, okay.
I think.
said-
Was it-
I heard 600 at Gill. Did I?
She
whatever.
said 600. She said they each have 600.
600, okay.
Mhm.
But still, that's fewer than
Yeah,
whether
we
that
have
would
about,
require another
we
truck.
have
or not is-
a little
something they'd
over
have to decide.
800, I think. The most recent LA4 form puts it at about 810, something like that.
What form?
LA4, it's the form that the assessor has to file and which I have to get a copy of in order to do the report to the DEP.
Well, Gail, those numbers need to be updated then in there because I was going off the 2020 census, but if we have
Okay.
better numbers, who was,
And Gary, what is the LA for Shutesbury?
The LA, well, I'm guessing because the LA4 is hard to read. It has
Yeah.
different kinds of, of things in it. I'm guessing about 810, 815 households.
And population according to that form?
It's about 1,500. Not quite 14
1,500?
something.
That sounds really low.
That's low.
That's not much more than
No,
that.
now, Gail, when we were talking, Becky, what did Becky say about getting us the total number? Did she
didn't.
say the town clerk? I think that we need to get that from the town clerk.
Actually,
On
we
the
could
street list.
probably get that directly from Grace. Not only the population, but the households.
Yeah, that, I'll send her an
Okay.
email.
I'm gonna have to go, folks. I hope you have a really nice weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks
You
a
too.
lot.
Let me
Thank
know-
you,
Let me
Susan.
know if you need anything.
Thank you.
They
You've
snowed
been
in on
helpful.
Monday.
I appreciate your input.
No
Absolutely.
problem. My pleasure.
Invaluable. Yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Okay.
I think we're pretty much done here anyway. You gonna say something?
Well,
else?
when we get those numbers, the population numbers and the household numbers,
Yep.
you'll put them in or you'll tell me and I'll plug them in.
And let me know too, because that I can be a little clearer than the LA4 about population and households.
Well, I'm gonna send this to Grace. I'll CC all three
Okay.
of you. I don't think it needs to go beyond
Right.
that. And then hopefully she'll reply all. If she doesn't, I'll make sure you get them.
Okay.
And Gail, it makes sense if you're gonna be editing the document primarily right now, that you just add them
Whenever
in
they
as
come
soon
up,
as we
okay.
get them.
Is the LA4 form on the assessor's website?
I don't know. I don't know. What I've done in the past is just email the assessor and say, please send me the LA4. So I have the LA4 if you want it.
Why don't we just go from that?
It might be on the website, but I asked Kevin to send it. He sent it the next day. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'll send it to you.
I'll see how quickly we hear from Grace, and if we have a
Yeah.
problem, we'll go elsewhere.
Yeah, the LA4 is hard to read. It really is. I'm guessing when I say, 810 households,
Okay,
because they're all different
Okay.
categories of
Right.
residences. and
Right.
stuff. So, yep.
so could you send it to me, just for
Sure.
curiosity's sake? Thanks.
Yeah.
Are we leaving?
Anyone else have a comment? No. Okay, really productive
Yep.
meeting. I'll
Oh,
see you
boy.
guys at 10:15 on Monday.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.